I am here to explain to you the bidding procedure and how to handle contracts. Now, term biddings and contracts has two words in it, bidding and contracts. We'll start with the first one. What is bidding? What is a bid? Then the next question comes to your mind is what to bid for, when, and to whom. A few more questions would also come up. How to submit a bid and for what purpose? Now, simply put, a bid is a statement of a proposal that is submitted by a prospective seller to a prospective buyer with the intention of selling a certain product or service to the customer. In other words, it is an offer which is made by a seller to a buyer. Now, once we put it in this manner, what to bid for certainly is answered. The next question is when to bid or when to submit a bid. One more question, to whom to submit a bid. Before I answer these questions, I would like to draw your attention to some particular statements, tables, or articles that may have appeared in certain press. Now, I am bringing in front of you a tender notice which has been invited by the Ministry of Defence under the Government of India. If you read it thoroughly, you will find that certain items have been described, the quantities have been given, the specifications are given, and then there is a column for acceptable brand, there is a column for EMD, there is a column for DD. We will come to the EMD and DD portions later on, but if you go through clause number 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, you will find various other details like tender forms can be obtained between so and so date to so and so date. Further, you will notice that the tenders shall be received up to so and so on so and so, and only technical bids will be opened at 11:30 hours on the same day in the conference hall. Clause number 5 talks of earnest money deposit, that is a EMD. Clause number 6 talks of a validity of a quotation, which is 120 days in this particular case, and you also find detailed instructions to the contractors or firms. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. Here we find a notice inviting tenders for works from the Additional Chief Engineer of PHED region. What do you find over here? It gives similar details like earnest money in row number 3, cost of a tender document and a tender processing fee, period of execution is given, operation and maintenance period, pre-bid meeting, joint site visit, and there is a last date and time for physical submission of tender fee, processing fee and EMD, last date and time for online submission of the tender, processing fee and EMD, and online opening of the pre-qualification bid. One from Central Railway. Now, is there any similarity between this one and the previous two? Look at it carefully. Yes, it appears similar to the previous two. You find an EMD, you find a cost of tender documents, then you find that tender forms can be purchased from so-and-so office at so-and-so time and date. There's a time for submission of the tender documents. So everything is the same. So basically, when to bid is answered. When to bid is the date and time which is given in the bidding documents. To whom to submit a bid is also given in the bidding documents. How to bid is also explained in the bidding documents. You just have to purchase the tender documents or obtain the tender documents from the concerned authorities, examine them, and you will find answers to all your questions. Now, let's look at the nature of the bidding process. What kinds of bids does one normally find? Now, bids are generally submitted by organizations which are into B2B selling, or this is primarily an industrial product. It's not for selling a product to a direct end user customer who is an civilian. It is for organizations and firms. Now, we have different types of bids: closed bid, open bid. What's the difference between the two? A bid which is closed in a box, is that a closed bid? And a bid which is kept open, is it an open bid? No, that's not the case. That's not the right answer. Generally, in industrial marketing, industrial bidding, you find that there are a number of reasons for an organization to get registered with other organizations for the purpose of supply. It is not just that you go and submit a quotation and you get an order. It doesn't happen in that manner. You cannot sell a product without establishing your credentials. In order to establish your credentials, you have to submit certain documents to the customer, the prospective customer. And upon examination, the prospective customer may decide whether to include your name in the list of qualified bidders or not. Now, many a time the customer issues bidding documents or tender notices or tender documents only to organizations that are registered with them. That is, they have undergone the complete audit, the complete technical or pre-qualification examination, the process, and then have got themselves registered with the customer organization. When the bidding documents are issued only to such organizations which are registered with them, it is called a closed bidding system, wherein new entrants are not permitted irrespective of their credentials, irrespective of how good their quality is. They have to undergo the full process, the complete process of registration to qualify for participation in closed bids. Open bid is something different. In case of an open bid, a bidding notice, a tender notice, as we have seen earlier, is published in leading newspapers or on the internet or on the company websites. Any organization which accesses these documents can participate in the bidding document, can participate in the bidding process. However, during the process of bidding, they have to establish their credentials. Now we find, as we go down, something like single bid, two bid, and three bids. What difference does it make if you submit one single bid to one customer, or two bids to the same customer for the same product, or three bids to the same customer for the same product? Now, is it something like that? No, I'm afraid not. In case of a single bid, the entire bidding documents, the pre-qualification documents, that is, those documents which establish your credentials for registration purposes, then details about your product and quality of the product and other details like the technical bid and the commercial bid as well as pricing, everything go into the same document. In case of a two-bid system, you may have one envelope for pre-qualification bid and an unpriced bid and a technical bid, and one envelope for a price bid, meaning the price bid is separated from the other bid. In case of a three-bid system, you have three different envelopes. It's a single stage but three different envelopes, one for the earnest money deposit or the unpriced bid, another for the technical bid, and a third one for the price bid.